Other CGMS students are on page 393. So Cameron has $200. He wants to buy a diploma frame for $44. He also wants to buy Kente graduation stoles for himself and his friends. Each stole costs $24. How many Kente stoles can Cameron buy? So know that he's going to buy that graduation frame for $44 plus the Kente stoles. So 24 times, we'll just say X. We don't know how many he can buy. He can't spend more than $200, right? So he's got to be less than or equal to 200. So let's go ahead and solve this inequality. Our first step, undo addition by subtracting from both sides. Canceling out on the left-hand side, dropping down here, 24x is less than or equal to 156. Then our second step, simply divide by 24. Cancels out here. Notice the sign does not flip, so x is less than or equal to 6.5 is what we get when we do that division. All right? So you can buy 6.5 Kente stoles, but let's think about that. Move to page 395. According to the graph, what is the solution of the problem? So let's graph this out. Remember, we got x is less than or equal to 6.5. Here's 0. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Let's do 7. 6.5 would be in the middle of this, right? Is this an open or closed circle? Well, this would be a closed circle all the way to the left, right? Now, but let's think about this. Like, you can't have negative stoles, right? So you can go all the way to here, and you can't have half of a stole, right? So Cameron's options are to buy 1 stole, 2 stoles, 3 stoles, 4 stoles, 5 stoles, or 6 stoles. He can't buy 7 stoles because he doesn't have enough money for that. He can't buy 6.5 stoles because the store isn't going to sell him a half. So the solution really is, well, I guess he could buy 0, right? 0 to 6 is his solution. Moving on over to page 396. The scuba diver is hired to take underwater photos. He begins swimming straight downward from an elevation of -5 meters. So he's starting at -5 meters, right? His elevation changes at a constant rate of 2.5 meters per minute, right? So his depth is changing 2.5 meters per minute. However, notice I put 2.5, but that would mean he would be going up. We know he's going down, so let's put it as a -2.5 meters. When his camera stops, his camera is still in a safe depth for use. You got to use this picture, use only at an elevation above 30 meters. So whatever this is has to be greater than -30 meters. Right? So how many minutes could he have been swimming? Let's go ahead and figure this out. Our first step, looks like we have addition here, right? But if I subtract 5, that's not going to make that 0. So I want to add 5 to both sides to make that 0. So those cancel out. I'm left with -2.5 m is greater than -25, right? -30 plus 5 is -25. And then I'm going to divide by a -2.5. Me saying that out loud should immediately say, oh, I need to flip the sign. Flip. 25 divided by -2.5 m has to be less than 10 minutes. Let's graph this solution. So if here's 0 and here's 10, what type of circle will I have? It's going to be an open circle, and it's going to be everything less than 10, so everything all the way down to 0. Now again, he can't swim for negative minutes, so it's going to basically be everything between 0 and 10, or like 1 to 10 minutes works. And he can go for half minutes here. Like, it's not like he's going to a store and trying to buy a full thing. So it could be like 1.5, 2.5, etc. So 1 to 10 minutes is up to when his camera is going to work. All right, number 7, Ayana has $20 to buy photo frames. Each frame costs $4.50. She also wants to buy a box of nails for $2.25 or $2.25. I guess hammer those to the wall. Dylan models the situation of the inequality as 20. The amount of money she has to be greater than or equal to the cost, 4.5 times the frames plus 2.25. He says Ayana can buy at most 4 frames. So let's figure it out. So 20 greater than or equal to 4.5 plus 2.25. You could also write this the opposite way, and you could say, I forgot the F, is less than or equal to 20, right? And the amount she spends has to be less than or equal to what she has. So first step, subtract 2.25 from both sides. Drop down the 4.5f less than or equal to 17.75. Divide by 4.5 now. Notice I'm dividing by a positive, so I don't need to flip the sign. So f is less than or equal to 3.94. Well, Dylan said that she could buy at most 4 frames, but wait a second. Her cost says she can buy up to 3.94 frames. You can't go to the store and say, hey, I want 3 frames and then I want 0.94 of a frame. Dylan is incorrect. She could only buy three frames, right? She'll have a little money left over, but she wouldn't have enough money to buy that 4th frame. And on your exit ticket, Kennedy has 8 cups of flour. She covers the countertop with a rolling pin with a half cup of flour. You always got to put a half cup of flour down just to make sure that you can make sure stuff doesn't stick to the counter. She then uses 2 1/4 cups of flour for each batch of biscuits, so +1 and 2 1/4 batch of biscuits. So I'll just label that B. How many batches can she make? Well, she can go up to 8, but she can't go more than 8. So there's your inequality, right? And if I were you trying to solve this, I would rewrite this out as 1/2 plus 2, and I'm going to make this into halves. So, I'm going to make this into fourths. So instead of saying 2 1/2, I'd say 2/4 plus 2 1/4. B is less than or equal to 8. And then you should be able to solve that by subtracting off 1/4 and then dividing by 2 1/4. Notice you probably won't have to flip the sign. You also want to make sure that you graph your inequality. Think about what this means. Is it open or closed circle, and which way should it point?